If someone came to you and said, hey, look, there's a better way to make money. You don't have to go to work anymore. You can actually finally leave your day job because now we have the technology of AI, which means even if you don't have the skills or experience, you have the same opportunity as the big boys to earn as much as $500 or more per day. How would that make you feel? If someone came to me and told me that you can make this money and it's 100% legit, I would be all in. But the major problem is, how do I get started? How do I know it's going to work for me? And is it already a saturated market? And that is what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, as you guys may already know, when it comes to starting an online business, it's easy for a few people to have the most success while everyone else is scrambling around and struggling to figure out why they're not making any money. And the two major reasons of why it's very difficult to make money online is because of low barrier to entry and the ease of replication. When there's a low barrier to entry, it makes it easier for you as an entrepreneur who may not have the resources to start a traditional brick and mortar business. However, at the same time, it can be challenging because with many online businesses operating in the same space, offering similar products or services, this can make it challenging to differentiate oneself from the competition. The ease of replication is another factor that can contribute towards market saturation, which can make the process of generating passive income unsustainable and very difficult. Online businesses can be easily replicated by competitors, which means that a successful business model can quickly attract a lot of imitators. This can lead to a crowded and competitive market, making it harder for new entrants to succeed. The ease of replication is due in part to the open nature of the internet. With information freely available online, it is easy for competitors to study successful businesses and copy their strategies. For example, if a particular e-commerce store is successful, other businesses can quickly copy its product offerings, marketing strategies, and website design. Furthermore, the ease of replication can also lead to a race to the bottom in terms of pricing. As competitors offer similar products or services, they may engage in price wars to attract customers. This can lead to lower profit margins for businesses, making it challenging for them to remain profitable and sustainable. So for this reason, before I tell you about the 3 side hustle secrets that I've discovered that can earn you as much as $500 per day or more, I also want to provide you with a framework on how you should approach making money online. And I believe that this simple framework will have a positive impact in your life as it has for me. So in my experience, there are 2 types of business models that you should be aware of when starting an online business. One is called Jackpot-based business, and the other one is called Growth Steady-based business. Jackpot-based business models have the potential to skyrocket your income, and you can essentially become rich overnight. The financial success that results from this business model accounts for 80% of luck, and 20% accounts for skills, hard work, consistency, and so on. In this context, we define luck as variables over which you have no control over, such as timing, sudden interest in desired products, the algorithm's decision to place your product on the first page, and so on. Because luck plays a significant role in a company's profitability, let's take a quick look at some of the factors that contributes to unexpected financial success. 80% of luck can simply come from being the first to market. Being the first can give a business a significant competitive advantage over its rival. A new product or service that is first of its kind can often capture a larger market share than later entrants. This is because the first mover has the opportunity to establish brand recognition, customer loyalty, and market dominance before other competitors enter the market. Being the first to market can also allow a business to set the standard for its industry. The first mover can establish the rules of the game and create a benchmark that other businesses must follow. This can create a barrier to entry for new competitors who may struggle to meet the established standards and compete effectively. Furthermore, being the first to market can also give a business an opportunity to establish relationships with suppliers, distributors, and other key partners. These relationships can be critical to a business success as they can provide access to critical resources and expertise. Despite the advantages of being the first mover, there are also risks involved. For example, a new product or service may fail to gain traction with consumers, leaving the first mover with a significant financial loss. Being the first to market can also attract the attention of competitors who may seek to copy the successful business model. Now, another variable is having the best product can account for up to 80% of the luck involved in achieving financial success for a business. Having the best product, even if a business is late to the market, can lead to business success because customers are ultimately looking for value. If a business can offer a superior product or service that meets customers' needs better than its competitors, it can attract customers and gain market share. One example of this is Apple's iPhone. When Apple introduced the iPhone in 2007, the smartphone market was already well established, with competitors such as Nokia, BlackBerry, and Palm dominating the market. However, the iPhone's innovative design, intuitive user interface, and access to the App Store quickly established it as a market leader despite being a late entrant. Tesla is another example of a business that has demonstrated that having the best product, even when late to market, can lead to business success. While electric vehicles had always been around for many years, Tesla's focus on performance, range, and innovative technology quickly established it as the premier electric vehicle manufacturer, despite entering the market much later than competitors like Nissan and General Motors. Late entrants to a market can often learn from the experiences of first movers and develop a better product or service that addresses the shortcomings of earlier products. Late entrants can also take advantage of advances in technology or new market trends that first movers may have missed. They can also benefit from the existing market infrastructure and consumer awareness established by first movers. This can enable them to leverage the marketing efforts of the first movers and use them as a foundation to build its brand and gain market share. A late entrant can also benefit from established distribution channels, supplier relationships, and other critical resources that first movers may have developed. Now, the other business model that you should be aware of is called growth steady. Growth steady business model has the potential to stabilize your income and get you to a point where you no longer need a traditional 9-to-5 job. The financial success that this business model generates accounts for 20% luck and 80% skills, hard work, consistency, and so on. A growth steady business is one that has a steady stream of income, is not subject to frequent market fluctuation, and has a long-term growth potential. Such businesses are more likely to succeed in the long run and offer a more sustainable income for the business owner. Jackpot-based business may be built around a fad or trend that may quickly fade away. This can result in a significant loss of investment for the business owner. In contrast, growth steady businesses are built on proven concepts and ideas that have a long-term demand in the market. What many entrepreneurs may not realize is that by having a growth steady business, regardless of how much revenue it generates, will increase the likelihood of having a tremendous success when starting other businesses. This is because the success of one business can provide the resources needed in order to start another one. Successful businesses often generate profits that can be reinvested in new ventures. It can also attract investors and lenders who are more likely to provide funding for a new venture if the entrepreneur has a track record of success. Not only that, but once you stabilize your income and get to a point where you no longer need to work your traditional 9-to-5 job, you will have the time to pursue learning new skills, improving your business goals, and most importantly, you will have more tolerance when it comes to dealing with challenges and failures when running a business. This business approach has been extremely beneficial to me in terms of determining how much effort I should put in based on how much money that I believe that I can make from it. So prior to starting this YouTube channel, I've had some success in other projects. I used to buy hundreds of MacBooks, iPhones, and other electronics with high margins and resell them locally and globally on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, eBay, and Amazon. I was so determined to leave my job that I saved every dollar that I could from my paycheck and deposit it straight to my bank. I was driving the cheapest car you can possibly imagine. The car that I used to drive would break down, and whenever I ran out of gas, I would always only put $5 in. And yes, I was a guy who would park far, far away just to avoid paying the parking meter. At the time, I couldn't justify paying to park when I was used to parking for free. So I knew a long time ago that the only way I would be able to become financially free was to increase my ability to save money. Because if I could save enough money, I would be able to start a side business. So while I was working, after having reached my savings goals, I looked at my banking app and realized, man, I have enough to cover my bills for 4 years without a job. So because of that, my performance at my job started to decline. I started showing up to work late, I was leaving my job earlier, and it eventually led to HR contacting me to come inside their office, and they would say, "We noticed your performance hasn't been up to par, and we're sorry, but we have to let you go." I was fired, and that's when I decided to start my own business. Now, saving money is very challenging, and I don't want you guys to have to go through that. So in this video, I would like to introduce you to growth steady side hustle ideas, because I believe it's critical for you to first have a reliable source of income so that you can quickly leave your job. I got 3 side hustles that nobody is talking about that can earn you as much as $500 or more with no skills, no experience, and you can do this from the comfort of your own home by using Chat GPT to do the work for you. And I'm going to walk you through the process step by step on how you can get started so that you can finally achieve financial success. Now, before we get started, I advise you guys to get yourself a cup of coffee because this is going to be a very long and detailed video. Do you remember the Goosebumps book series from the 1990s? Goosebumps is a popular book series for children and young adults written by R.L. Stine. The series began in 1992 and continued until 1997 and has since been revived with additional books in the years following its original run. The books are known for their suspenseful and often humorous storylines that are easy for young readers to follow and enjoy. They are fast-paced and filled with twists and turns that keeps readers engaged. The books featured relatable characters that readers can easily identify with, including protagonists who are often around the same age as the target audience, which helped readers to connect with the characters and become invested in their stories. But did you know that many of the books from the Goosebumps series were written by ghostwriters? While R.L. Stine wrote many of the books himself, he also employed a team of ghostwriters to help him keep up with the high demand for new books in the series. These ghostwriters were responsible for writing some of the books under Stine's name and were given outlines and guidelines to follow to ensure that the books fit in with the overall tone and style of the series. Stine wanted to ensure that the books in the series were consistent in terms of style and tone, and that they adhere to the overall vision he had for the series. By working with a team of ghostwriters, Stine was able to ensure that the books maintain a consistent quality and style, even though he wasn't the one that was writing them. Because writing a book can be a time-consuming and challenging process, by using ghostwriters, Stine was able to share some of the workload and reduce the stress and pressure on himself. This also enabled him to provide opportunities for other writers to work on a successful book series and gain experience in the publishing industry. Many musicians, business leaders, and even lawyers use ghostwriting for pretty much the same reasons. They are looking for a time-efficient solution because they may not have the time or writing skills to create content on their own. Hiring a ghostwriter allows them to delegate writing tasks while focusing on other important responsibilities. Ghostwriting has become a commonplace practice in today's world, especially in the realm of publishing and content creation. The rise of the internet and the demand for quality content has only amplified the need for ghostwriters as companies and content creators seek to create high-quality written material in a timely and cost-effective manner. So the side hustle that you're going to start is to start a ghostwriting service by using Chat GPT and earn as much as $500 or more per day. And most importantly, I'm going to give you the blueprint so that you can start earning money as soon as possible. Let's talk about the income potential that you can achieve from this endeavor. Ghostwriters can charge 5 cents to 10 cents per word for basic blog posts or articles, while others may charge 20 cents to 50 cents per word for more specialized content like technical writing or business documents. High-end ghostwriters who work on book-length projects can charge $1 or more per word. It is worth noting that many ghostwriters negotiate project rates rather than charging per word, as this allows them to take into account the unique needs of each client and project. Here are a few examples of what you can charge as a ghostwriter depending on the type of projects you accept. When writing a book manuscript, you can charge anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 or more to write a full-length book manuscript, depending on the complexity and length of the work. The fee may be negotiated on a per-word basis or as a flat rate for the entire project. When writing blog posts or articles, you can charge anywhere from $50 to $500 or more, depending on the length, research involved, and the level of expertise required. For writing speeches, you can charge anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 or more to write a speech, depending on the length and complexity of the topic. Also, for screenplays, you can charge anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000, depending on the complexity of the story and the overall scope of the project. The amount of money that you can charge your customers varies from person to person. You should never have a fixed price because you want your pricing structure to be flexible. It's important to integrate value pricing in your ghostwriting business. Value pricing is a pricing strategy in which the price of a product or service is based on the value it provides to the customer rather than on the cost of production. This means that the price is set based on how much the customer is willing to pay for the product or service rather than how much it costs to produce. In the context of ghostwriting services, value pricing would involve pricing the service based on the value that it provides to the client, such as quality of the writing, the experience and expertise of the writer, and the ability of the writer to meet the client's specific needs. Implementing value pricing in your ghostwriting service can be beneficial in several ways. First, it can help you to attract clients who are willing to pay more for high-quality writing services rather than simply looking for the cheapest option available. This can allow you to focus on providing a higher level of service to your clients, which can lead to repeat business and positive word-of-mouth referrals. Value pricing can help you stand out from your competitors who may be offering lower price services that do not provide the same level of quality or value. By emphasizing the value that your service provides, you can differentiate yourself from others in the market and position yourself as a premium service provider. This can help you to attract and retain clients, increase your revenue and profitability, and establish yourself as a high-quality service provider in the market. So now let's talk about how we can incorporate Chat GPT into your ghostwriting service. Many people often make the mistake of believing that you can generate money on the platform itself. You want to look at it more as a tool to improve productivity and efficiency. So whatever creative work that you are currently doing, by using Chat GPT, you can advance your projects and get more done at the same time. Now, let's talk about all the ghostwriting services that you can offer and how we can integrate Chat GPT so that you can start generating income. The first ghostwriting service that we're going to talk about is ghostwriting for musicians. Now, for me personally, I like to listen to rap music. Rap music is one of the most popular genre in music. But let's say you have a client who's trying to make a hit song to get to the Billboard Hot 100. And also, let's say that you don't have any writing skills and you don't know how to put words together. Let's see how we can use ChatGPT to write a #1 hit song. Alrighty, so here we are going to type list 20 most common rap words. So as you can see, it has given us 20 most common rap words, which is hustle, swag, money, grind, homie, flow, flexin', haters, rhyme, trap, bars, dope, OG, bling, crew, thug, G, Benz, chillin', and smoke. So now let's tell it to write a 16 bars rap lyrics using the 20 most common rap words listed here. Make it sound like Lil Uzi Vert. As you can see, the AI is now writing lyrics in the style of Lil Uzi Vert using the most common rap words that we have given it. We can see here on verse 1, it says, money on my mind, I gotta hustle all day, got my homies by my side, we grinding all the way. Flexing on my haters, they can't keep up with my swag, bars flowing so dope, you can feel it in your bag. Oh man. That was actually kind of terrible. All right, so then for the chorus, it says, trap life, it's the way to go. Stacking up my paper, let the money flow. Bling on my wrist, Benz on my crew. Chilling with my G's, we've got nothing to prove. So we have a fairly solid verse and chorus to work with. Now, of course, we wouldn't want to use word for word because it wouldn't sound right and it would still sound plain. But even if you have a writer's block when it comes to writing rap lyrics, you can see the versatility and utility that it can provide. Alrighty, so let's get into pop music. So let's say that you have a client who wants a hit song with the same lyric style as Selena Gomez. So now let's tell it to write a Selena Gomez song that's similar to her song Lose You to Love Me. As you can see here, the AI is now writing lyrics in the style of Selena Gomez using her popular song Lose You to Love Me as a reference. So as we can see here for verse 1, it says, I used to think that you were my everything, but now I see that you were just a temporary fling. You played with my heart like it was a game, but I'm stronger now and I won't feel the same. And for the chorus, it says, I had to lose you to find myself. I had to let go of all that I felt. You broke me down, but I built myself up. Now I'm ready to face the world without your love. So again, we have a fairly solid verse and chorus to work with. When it comes to writing lyrics, we must also consider the delivery and tone of how the lyrics will be said. When it comes to making songs, the way you say something is just as important as what you say. If you have a powerful message in your song, but deliver it in a monotone or unengaging way, it may not resonate with your audience as strongly as if you had delivered it with emotion and passion. Because Chat GPT is only a text-based solution, it's not able to help you in creating the tone and delivery. However, one of its most powerful features is the ability to generate words that corresponds to the desired results. We can specify the lyric style by naming the artists we want to emulate and one of their songs. So let's piggyback to rap music, and I want to show you something cool that you can do. So let's say you want to write your own lyrics, but also you want to broaden your rap vocabulary to avoid repeating yourself and increase your rap production value. So we are going to type here, list 10 most common rap words. As you can see, it now provides us with 10 lists of common rap words. What's interesting about this is that it explains what each words mean, which we didn't get with the first results when we told it to list 20 most common rap words. Sometimes your results may be unexpected, which makes it a very fascinating tool. So as you can see, it has given us 10 most common rap words, which is money, hustle, swag, homie, flex, lit, trap, savage, drip, and hater. So now let's say I'm writing some bars, but I need words that rhyme with lit. I'm going to type here and tell it to write me 10 words that rhymes with lit. As you can see, it has given me 10 words, which is fit, bit, kit, spit, sit, pit, mit, wit, commit, and split. So I might use words like commit, spit, and fit when writing bars. Now I'm going to tell it to give me 10 more. So as you can see, it gave us an additional 10 more, but I don't like this set. It looks kind of dry. So I'm going to tell it to give me 10 more. Now here are some words I can use. I have the words counterfeit, benefit, and outfit. So now you can see the creative potential that it has in terms of creating lyrics for songs. Alrighty, you guys, let's talk about another ghostwriting service that you can offer to your clients with the integration of Chat GPT so that you can achieve financial success. The second ghostwriting service that we're going to talk about is becoming a contract writer. A contract is a legally binding agreement between two or more parties that outlines the terms and conditions of a transaction or business relationship. It is a written document that sets out the rights and obligations of each party and provides a framework for the exchange of goods, service, or money. Contracts are an essential component of any business transaction because they provide a clear understanding of what is expected of each party and ensures that all parties are held accountable. Contracts are important because they provide a level of certainty and predictability in business transactions. By clearly outlining the terms and conditions of an agreement, contracts help to avoid misunderstandings, disputes, and legal issues down the line. They provide a framework for resolving conflicts and provide a mechanism for enforcing the terms of an agreement. There will be a time where a person must consider getting a contract in order to protect their interests and mitigate risk. The 5 most common contracts that you may encounter are: 1. Employment contracts. These are agreements between an employer and an employee that outline the terms and condition of their employment, such as job responsibilities, compensation, benefits, and duration of employment. 2. Rental agreement and lease contracts. These are contracts between a landlord and a tenant that define the terms of a rental property, such as rent amount, length of tenancy, security deposit, and maintenance responsibilities. 3. Sales contracts. These are agreements between a buyer and a seller that outlines the terms and conditions of a sale, such as the price, delivery terms, and warranties. The 4th one is service contracts. These are agreements between a service provider and a client that outlines the terms and condition of the services to be provided, such as scope of work, timelines, and fees. The 5th one, which you may heard of, is called non-disclosure agreements. These are contracts that restrict one or both parties from sharing confidential information with others. Non-disclosure agreements are commonly used in business transactions to protect sensitive information from being disclosed to competitors or the public. The amount of money that you can make as a contract writer varies depending on a variety of factors, such as your level of experience, the industry that you are servicing, the type of writing you are performing, and your location. Freelance contract writers can earn anywhere from $20 to $200 per hour, depending on skill level and the type of writing work they are doing. Contract writers can charge word by word or by project, and the rates can range from a few cents per word to several dollars per word. Now, the problem is, as you may notice, there are plenty of free contracts available online that your customers can use to modify to their likings. While it's true that there are many free contract templates available online, hiring you as a contract writer can provide several benefits for the customers. Firstly, a contract writer can customize an agreement to meet the specific needs and risks of a customer's business or industry. While templates are designed to cover a wide range of scenarios, they may not be tailored to the unique requirements of each situation. Secondly, contract writers have legal expertise and can provide guidance on the specific terms and language that should be included in a contract to ensure that it's legally binding and enforceable. This expertise can be especially valuable in complex or high-stakes agreements. Thirdly, a well-written contract is clear and easy to understand, which can help reduce the likelihood of disputes or misunderstandings. A contract writer can ensure that the language used in a contract is precise and unambiguous, making the agreement more effective in protecting the interests of all parties involved. A contract writer can identify potential risks and liabilities associated with a contract and help customers mitigate those risks through appropriate contract provisions. This can help protect customers from potential legal and financial consequences down the line. While free contract templates may be a good starting point, the process of reviewing and editing those templates can be time-consuming. Hiring you as a contract writer can save time and ensure that the contract is drafted efficiently and accurately, freeing up the customer's time and resources to focus on other aspects of their business. Now, even if you're not a contract writer and you have no experience or skills in drafting contracts, we will soon cover how you can use Chat GPT to provide legally binding contracts without any industry knowledge. Alright, so let's say we have an influencer who needs a contract to promote an energy drink. Let's type here, write an influencer contract for John Doe, who has 1 million YouTube subscribers and will be promoting an energy drink called Power Up. As you can see, it essentially wrote a basic influencer contract for our client that we can use and modify as needed. Let's take a brief look. We can see here it says,
"This influencer contract, the agreement, is made and entered into as of insert date by and between insert company name, the company, and John Doe, the influencer. Whereas, the influencer has a substantial following on the YouTube platform with over 1 million subscribers. Whereas, the company has developed a new energy drink product called Power Up, the product. Whereas, the company desires to engage the influencer to promote the product to the influencer's followers. Now, therefore, in consideration of the mutual promises and covenants contained herein, the parties agree as follows. 1. Services. The influencer agrees to perform the following services for the company. Produce a minimum of 2 YouTube videos promoting the product to be posted on the influencer's YouTube channel. Make at least 2 social media posts promoting the product to be posted on the influencer's social media accounts, Instagram, Twitter, etc. Appear in at least 1 live event or public appearance promoting the product as agreed upon by the parties. 2. Compensation. In consideration for the influencer's services, the company shall pay the influencer the following compensation: a flat fee of $insert amount to be paid upon execution of this agreement. A commission of insert percentage of all sales generated through the influencer's unique referral link or discount code. Reasonable travel and lodging expenses for any live events or public appearances as approved by the company in advance.
As you can see, Chat GPT does a good job of writing contracts that are tailored to your client's need, and all you have to do is modify it to fit the situation. Alrighty, so let's do another one. Let's say you own a property and your real estate company is Property Tycoon, and you need a 1-year lease agreement for your tenant, John Doe. Let's type here, write a 1-year rental contract. Tenant name is John Doe. Landlord name is Property Tycoons. As you can see, it wrote a basic rental agreement for our client that we can now use and modify as needed. If we take a brief look, we can see here it says,
"This rental agreement is made on this blank day of blank 20 by and between John Doe, tenant, and Property Tycoons, landlord. 1. Rental property. Landlord agrees to rent to tenant the property located at blank, the property, for the term of 1 year commencing on blank and ending on blank. 2. Rent. Tenant shall pay landlord a monthly rent of X dollars, due on the blank day of each month. Payment shall be made to landlord at blank or to such other place as landlord may designate in writing. 3. Security deposit. Tenant shall provide a security deposit of X dollars on or before the date of occupancy. The security deposit shall be held by landlord as security for the performance by tenant of the terms and conditions of this agreement. If tenant shall fully comply with all the terms and conditions of this agreement, the security deposit or balance thereof shall be refunded to tenant at the expiration of this agreement. 4. Use of property. The property shall be used only as a private residence for tenant and tenant's immediate family. Tenant shall not use or permit the property to be used for any illegal purpose, nor shall tenant disturb the peace and quiet of the neighbors or commit waste on the property.
As you can see, this is a very simple but effective landlord contract. Again, all you would need to do is modify it to fit your client's need. There are a variety of contracts including partnership agreements, consulting agreements, model contracts, and more. All you need to do is gather the information from your client and let ChatGPT do the rest. Now, the third ghostwriting service that we're going to talk about is writing resumes and cover letters for people. Resumes and cover letters are an important tools for job seekers to showcase their skills, qualifications, and experience to potential employers. A resume is a concise document that highlights an individual's work experience, education, and skills, while a cover letter is a personalized letter that accompanies the resume and serves as an introduction to the employer. Together, they provide a comprehensive picture of the candidate's suitability for a particular job. Resumes and cover letters provides a snapshot of a person's qualifications and experience. Employers use these documents to assess whether a candidate has the required skills and experience for the job. An effective resume and cover letter can help a job seeker stand out in a crowded field of applicants, increasing their chances of being invited for an interview. A well-crafted resume and cover letter can demonstrate an individual's attention to details, communication skills, and professionalism. Employers may use these documents as a gauge of a candidate's ability to follow instructions, organize information, and present themselves effectively. A polished resume and cover letter can help a candidate make a positive impression and convey their interest in the position. But did you know that even if you are qualified for the position that you're applying for, that you may not get a call back for the job interview simply because of the appearance of your resume and cover letter? If there are spelling errors, grammatical mistakes, or formatting issues in the application documents, it can give a negative impression to the employer. It can suggest that the candidate is not meticulous or lacks the necessary attention to detail which could be detrimental to their work performance. Also, a candidate's lack of enthusiasm and passion for the role can also be a turnoff for employers. A resume and cover letter that merely lists the candidate's qualifications and experience without any indication of their excitement for the job can appear dull and uninspired. Employers want to hire someone who is genuinely interested in the role and the company, as this is a good indication that the candidate will be motivated to perform well and will be a good fit for the company culture. A candidate's lack of preparation and research on the company can also lead to rejection. If the candidate fails to show any understanding of the company or the role, it can suggest a lack of interest, enthusiasm, or dedication, which can result in the application being rejected. Writing resumes and cover letters for others can be a good side hustle, especially with the growing demand for professional job application documents. Essentially, what you are doing is helping your clients to stand out in the job market. Many factors contribute to the difficulty of finding work, but the most significant is because of competition. With so many people looking for work, particularly in popular industries or fields, it can be difficult to stand out from the crowd and secure a job offer. This is why having a strong resume and cover letter are so important in today's job market. Many employers are now using advanced algorithms and artificial intelligence tools to sort through resumes and applications, which can make it even harder to get noticed and land a job interview. When you start writing resumes for others, it's important to keep in mind that the purpose of this document is to showcase the candidate's skills, experience, and achievements in a clear and concise manner. A good resume should be tailored to the job description and highlight the candidate's relevant qualifications. It should also be visually appealing and easy to scan, with clear headings and bullet points. When writing a resume for someone else, it is important to gather as much information as you can about their work history, education, and achievements. This can be done through a questionnaire or interview process. It is also helpful to research the job and the company that the candidate is applying to in order to tailor the resume to the specific position. Cover letters, on the other hand, provides an opportunity for the candidate to introduce themselves and explain why they are interested in the position. The cover letter should be concise, professional, and showcase the candidate's personality and enthusiasm for the job. It should also highlight their relevant skills and experience, as well as any achievements that demonstrates their potential for success in the role. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about how much money that you can make writing resumes and cover letters for others. The resume writing industry has been growing in popularity in recent years, as more and more people seek out professional help in crafting their job application documents. One of the most important factors that can influence your earning potential as a resume writer is your level of experience and expertise. If you are just starting out in this field, you may need to build up a portfolio of work and establish a reputation before you can command higher rates. On the other hand, if you have many years of experience and have developed a specialized niche or expertise, you may be able to charge more for your services. Your geographic location can also have a significant impact on your earnings as a resume writer. In general, writing in larger cities and more affluent areas tend to command higher rates than those in smaller or less prosperous locations. However, this is not always the case, as you can work remotely and serve clients from all over the world. The type of clients you work with can also affect how much you can earn as a resume writer. For example, if you primarily work with entry-level job seekers, you may need to charge lower rates in order to attract and retain clients. However, if you work with higher-level executives or specialized professionals, you may be able to charge premium rates for your services. Another factor that can affect your earning potential as a resume writer is the type of service you offer. Some writers may focus solely on resume writing, while others may offer additional services such as cover letter writing, LinkedIn profile optimization, or career coaching. The more service you offer, the more you may be able to earn. Entry-level resume writers with little experience may charge $50 to $100 per resume. Mid-level resume writers with several years of experience may charge $100 to $300 per resume, and high-end resume writers with specialized expertise may charge $500 or more per resume. These are only examples and can vary widely depending on your geographic location, clientele, and services offered. In addition to per resume rates, you can charge hourly rates or flat fees for your services. Now, let's say that you yourself don't know how to write a resume or a cover letter. How can you go about writing resumes and cover letters for others? Now, that's where the power of Chat GPT comes into play. So before we get more specific and detailed, let's tell Chat GPT to create a resume to land a job as a pharmacist. As you can see, it essentially gave me a generic resume that we can modify to our likings. Now, if we don't like this generic one, we can just tell it to rewrite another one. So as you can see, ChatGPT has written us another version that's completely different from the first one. Now, let's say I don't like the objective statement here, and I want to change it and make it longer and more interesting. We can type here, rewrite the objective and make it longer and more interesting. Include a joke if suitable. This is where ChatGPT shines in terms of creativity. Let's read this here.
As a detail-oriented pharmacist with a passion for delivering outstanding patient care and a knack for making people laugh, I am seeking a challenging role in a progressive pharmacy where I can apply my expertise and good humor to make a positive impact on patient health and wellness. Whether it's cracking a joke to ease a patient's nerves or meticulously checking medication orders for accuracy, I take pride in going above and beyond to ensure patients receive the highest quality care. With years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry, I have honed my skills in dispensing medication, conducting medication therapy management, and collaborating with healthcare teams to develop effective treatment plans. And if you're wondering whether I'm the type of pharmacist who enjoys a good pun, the answer is yes. I'm always ready to inject a little humor into the workplace. But don't worry, my attention to detail and commitment to patient safety are no laughing matter. If you're seeking a pharmacist who is not only knowledgeable and skilled but also passionate and personable, then look no further. I'm your gal. Let's work together to make a real difference in the lives of patients and their families.
As you can see, this objective summary will essentially increase your client's chances of getting a job interview. When a hiring manager sees this, they can conclude that the person behind this resume is very fun and interesting, and they would contribute to a fun work culture. This is the best strategy for getting any job, and it is also something that I used to do when I was looking for work. The issue is, it is already expected that anyone that applies for this job position usually already have some level of experience and license to perform the work. But how do you distinguish yourself from the other 100 applicants, all of whom have experience and license? And the answer is by letting your personality shine through your resume and cover letter. This strategy will always ensure that you will never be out of work. So now let's get a little more technical. So let's put here, write resume again, but keep the new objective and replace the previous one. The applicant name is Sarah Mendez, and she has 5 years of experience working at Penn Medicine. Her termination was due to COVID health complication. She recently relocated to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, but she is originally from Palm Beach, Florida. Now, as you can see, it's rewriting the resume and including the information that we have provided. It failed to include the objective that we wanted to put in this new resume, which it has written for me earlier, but that's okay because we can just copy and paste what we want to keep and delete what we don't want. As you can see, we were able to create a solid resume for our fictional client. So let's try our hand at writing a cover letter. Let's tell ChatGPT, with the information provided above, write a long and engaging cover letter. Give a fictional example of a challenge that Sarah Mendez faced at her previous job and how she overcame it. Include a joke if appropriate. Add some emojis in appropriate places.
Dear hiring manager, I am writing to express my interest in the pharmacist position at your progressive pharmacy. As a detail-oriented pharmacist with a passion for delivering exceptional patient care and a knack for making people smile, I am confident that I would be an asset to your team. With 5 years of experience at Penn Medicine, I have honed my skills in dispensing medication, conducting medication therapy management, and collaborating with healthcare teams to develop effective treatment plans. Although my time at Penn Medicine was cut short due to COVID-19 health complications, I am excited to bring my expertise to a new environment and make a positive impact on patient health and wellness. At Penn Medicine, I faced many challenges and developed effective strategies to overcome them. One example that comes to mind was when I was tasked with managing the medication regimen for a critically ill patient with multiple comorbidities. The patient was taking over 20 medications, and their treatment plan was constantly changing as their condition evolved. It was a daunting task, to say the least, but I was determined to provide the best possible care for the patient. To tackle this challenge, I first ensured that I had a comprehensive understanding of the patient's medical history and treatment goals. Then, I developed a system for organizing the patient's medication regimen and monitoring for potential drug interactions and adverse effects. I also communicated regularly with the healthcare team to stay updated on any changes in the patient's condition and treatment plan. In the end, my efforts paid off, and the patient's health improved significantly. Seeing the positive impact that my work had on the patient's life was incredibly rewarding and reaffirmed my passion for pharmacy. As someone who enjoys injecting a little humor into the workplace, I believe that I would fit in well with your team. In addition to my strong technical skills, I pride myself on my ability to connect with patients and make them feel at ease. Whether it's cracking a joke or simply listening to their concerns, I am committed to delivering the highest quality care to every patient I serve. Thank you for considering my application. I look forward to the opportunity to discuss how I can contribute to your pharmacy's mission and vision. Sincerely, Sarah Mendez.
As you can see, we have a very strong cover letter, and all we have to do is upload this resume and cover letter to Google Docs or any other document editing software and essentially beautify it by adding the client's picture to the top of the document, editing the fonts, titles, and creating a good color scheme so that the client's resume stands out. In this video, we have discussed 3 ghostwriting service businesses that you can start making money with by using Chat GPT. However, when it comes to starting a business and generating income, it is always easier said than done. So because of that, if you have any suggestions for what I should expand on further, leave a comment below and I'll make a follow-up video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are having a productive day, and I'll see you in the next video.